Hey guys, it's LynkPlaysGames, welcome back to my channel. So, I got new glasses. I think they look nice. Despite everyone fucking roasting me. So I got these glasses, and I send a picture to one of my friends, and they say, "That's awesome, Harry," and it took me a minute. And I'm like, And then, one of my little sister and one of my coworkers both, like, basically said the same thing. But what was said was, "You're a cashier, Harry." Motherfuckers. I'm just sitting here like, huh? Like, it flies over my head for a split second, and then I'm like, you goddamn bastards. Hi. Okay, Hot Wheels. Damn, girl. Damn. Someone is not in the mood for nobody's shit. Kind of sucks because she works service desk, but I feel sorry for whoever. I wanted to make this video because there's been a few things going on, and a little conversation that was kind of splattered into my coming back video that I have yet to touch on.
Double gay. So,
in my coming back video, towards the end, there was like clips of things that never got posted. And one of which was a clip of me saying about not knowing if I was trans or non-binary. And I know a lot of people are like,
whoa, care to elaborate?
And this is something that I really haven't come out about. I think the only ones who know is my boyfriend and my friend Sammy. Other than that, I haven't really talked about it much. And other than, you know, that little clip and you guys all seeing that, I've been like,
what the fuck? Excuse me?
It's just not something I've personally talked about. Can you tell I'm anxious? I don't know what quite to say, because I'm still struggling with it, and I'm still trying to, I guess, learn myself, rather than, you know, it's hard for me to explain and use words right now. Anyways, I really hate wearing my glasses while recording. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I see a glare in my glasses and it just bugs me. Okay, let's start off with the basics here. For those who don't know, the difference between trans and non-binary and what those exactly mean. So, trans is really Trans is an umbrella term that just kind of like covers all like the different genders. That is basically not identifying as the gender you were born. You know how some people will have the saying, you know, all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares, or something like that? That's basically what it applies to with trans. Everything is technically trans, but trans is not non-binary, if that makes sense. Or like, trans is not gender fluid. Trans is not like, basically everything falls under being trans, but trans doesn't necessarily mean one of those specifically. Lost my train of thought because Karen wanted to pull up beside my car and stare the fuck at me. Like, she literally, like, she parked right beside me, backed up, it was in the middle of both spaces, pulled forward again, started to look like she was backing up, and then pulled forward and drove off. I'm like, first of all, I got pepper spray. Second of all, I almost set my car alarm off. back to what I was saying. So, trans can basically umbrella all the genders other than, you know, cisgender stuff. But not everything is just trans. If that makes sense. So, like, under transgender, you obviously have your trans male, trans female. Those are the ones who identify within the binary, but as the opposite gender of which they were born. Which, for me, I've been identifying as a trans man. Meaning I identify as a male. I was clearly not born a male, so... Good example, right? Who the fuck? And then you have, like, gender fluid or non-binary. Non-binary, some people actually do use as a umbrella as well. Think of it like a tree chart, I guess. Isn't it a tree chart? It has, like, the one label, and then it branches down to these different labels, and then there's another thing, and then it branches out into more labels. Basically, that's kind of how the flow goes. Or is it a flow chart? Is it a flow chart? What the fuck am I thinking is a tree chart? Maybe tree chart is what it was. No, flow chart's where you see the flow. I don't know. And non-binary can technically, well, usually non-binary or gender non-conforming, some people see as an umbrella, like a mini umbrella to trans. But basically non-binary, outside the binary, gender non-conforming doesn't necessarily mean outside of the binary, but also doesn't necessarily mean inside the binary. They just don't conform to gender ideologies, gender normalities. Basically, they just don't care. They identify. They can identify. Or am I getting confused? I might be getting confused. I've never personally known someone who is gender non-conforming. I've known people who are non-binary. I know people who identify as trans. I know people who are cis, obviously. I've known someone who identified as just androgynous. Just the right in between either neither area. Well, wasn't quite non-binary. Like, they wanted to stay on that line and just cause chaos and confuse people, which is typically what a lot of non-binary people do. And androgyny is technically the term of how you would be expressing. Like, you express yourself and your identity androgynously, I guess. I don't know. Why am I making a video when I'm a complete idiot? Anyways, so as I was saying, trans and non-binary, two different things. Non-binary, basically, you don't really fuck around with gender that much. You just... There's an old lady, and I'm just yelling about fucking around about gender. And I'm in the Bible Belt. I'm in danger. Non-binary, basically, the androgynous line of, it does not matter what clothes they are wearing. If they look more masculine, feminine, it don't matter. They are themselves. Which, they, them. Pronouns are typically used with non-binary people as they, them. Some people use they, she, they, he, they. Some people prefer more masculine pronouns. Like with me, I prefer he, they. I prefer the masculine pronoun, but I do like the non-binary they, them pronouns. Those all apply to me. The only one that really doesn't apply with me is she, her. And sometimes trans men and trans women will use they, them pronouns. It's very rare. it's more so the non-binary NBs who use pronouns. And yes, I said NB, which is what you would refer to a non-binary person as. Instead of saying like a dude or a chick, it's an NB. They are an NB. Correction. Now that we've discussed all that, let me go into like why I've been questioning it. So for the longest time, everyone who knew me in high school, I came out as gender fluid. I think at the time I was just trying to hold on to being feminine to please my parents and my siblings, and it just was not going well. And then last year, well, the year before last year, so 2 years ago, I came out as trans. And I realized like that had fit me so well. And I loved it, and I felt very confident and masculine. But, you know, at the same time, I don't mind being one of the girls. And I just kind of joked around and said, oh, you know, that's the side. And I don't think that's quite the case. Because my friend always had a saying about the femmes and the thems. And I always loved it, because I was like, oh my god, yes, I love that. And I'm like, okay, but it still doesn't include me. But it feels like it does. And then, you know, I don't mind wearing makeup. I don't mind doing drag. I don't mind, you know, being right in between feminine and masculine. I actually prefer it. I feel comfortable. So I'm like trans-ish. Like, I know I'm not female. I know I don't identify as a woman. I just don't. But I've been watching more non-binary people on TikTok, and I'm like, I relate. I just kind of have grasped on to the non-binary community part, and I'm like, yes, kind of. I feel like I'm more on the masculine side of things, which is why I prefer he, they pronouns. And I like looking masculine. You know, I like being the tough guy and stuff like that. But as a way for me and my boyfriend to kind of, you know, adjust to the fact of how our relationship is. He has never been with someone who's transgender or non-binary. And he's trying to adjust. And yes, we've been dating for about a year now. So a lot of people are like, he should be adjusted already. No, he shouldn't. No, he shouldn't. He's lived most of his life as a straight man. And he found me attractive and loved me for me as a person. You know, it's kind of hard to, you know, get over that, considering I'm pre-T, I'm pre-transitioned. You know, I don't have all parts required. So of course that's kind of like a little bit confusing for him. And he's been doing great with pronouns. He's been doing great with calling me his boyfriend and adjusting to that part. But like, he still feels like a small disconnect, and that he can't quite reach the fact that he is dating a guy. And I get it, it's hard. Because when the clothes are off, do I look like a guy? Not really. Like, I could understand where the disconnect is, and I can understand, like, the confusion. Anyways. So I was just like, you know, say I'm your significant other. Especially when there's people you're not quite comfortable being out to. Just call me your significant other. You know, use they, them pronouns, because it won't catch quite as he or she. And he's like, okay, we'll try that. And so we slowly started trying the whole non-binary aspect. And if I were to, you know, turn around in a year and go, okay, no, just trans, not non-binary, he'd be like, okay, well, or whatever the case may be. Me and him are working as a team together to figure me out better, because hell if I know. How the hell is he the thick?
How the hell is he the thick?
Hell if I know, and how the hell is he gonna know if I don't got a damn clue? We're just both learning who I am together, and we're going with the flow and adjusting. And I mean, if anyone watching this is non-binary and you originally came out as trans, you know, could you comment down below, like, how you realized you were non-binary and what, like, your progress through it was and your thought process? Because maybe I just need a guide. Like, obviously things aren't gonna be the same between me and you, but you know, maybe it'd be a good start to be like, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. But anyways, I'm done rambling. For any questions out there, if I am trans or non-binary, yes. I don't know anymore, dude. I mean, I think regardless, I'm always gonna identify as trans, since it is an umbrella term. But I'm just gonna be just floating and just loving myself. I don't think I need to label. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.